Well, hello, everybody. Wow, this is terrific. As you can see, Everett O'Keefe here with Ignite Press. And boy, the house is full of smiling faces today. I'm really excited because what you are witnessing now is a culmination of a lot of work on behalf of a lot of people. Um, and we're going to have fun getting to know everybody here. We here at Ignite Press specialize in helping people bring their messages to the world. And that's what we've had a chance to do here. Kathy Fyock, I'm going to go to you first. Kathy, as an extraordinary book coach, you are the person who led us through this project of She Knows Best. In fact, I should put this up on the screen. She Knows Best is launching today. It is available on Amazon now in paperback and Kindle formats. And this is business wisdom from extraordinary women, and they're all here. So I love this. Kathy, why don't you get us started off and tell us what maybe was the idea that got you and Molly rolling on this project?
Well, first of all, I just love to put together anthology projects. I think they are so rich in content because it's not just one voice, it's many voices talking about a particular topic. And Molly and I had worked on an anthology before, and she wanted to do kind of her own with her own group. And so it's just been a delight working with Molly and the team. Uh, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, so I either have known well or known of every single author on this team, which has made it a double treat for me. But I love anthologies because it's a way for individuals to dip their toe in the water before maybe they're ready to write an entire book on their own. And it's a way to explore the publishing world and to have your name on the cover of a book. So it's been my pleasure to work with this team, and it's great to hold this treasure in my hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom in this book for sure. Now, Molly, let's come to you. We wouldn't have this project without you. You brought this team of expert women together. Why don't you tell us about, I don't know, what thought went through your mind when you first considered doing an anthology and inviting this powerhouse group?
Thanks, Everett. Thanks, Kathy. It was definitely an opportunity to really step back and think, if my face were going to be on the cover of a book, who would I want alongside me telling the story? And this amazing group of women that have this fantastic story to tell and the influence that they have. This anthology wasn't created to tell the butterflies and rainbows story. It was created to really hand women a mirror so that they could see their true self. And the ones that we're handed today are sometimes glazed over and maybe have a filter. And we didn't want to create another polished success story to highlight all of the great things. We all get the highlight reel, we all get the social, we all get the before and afters, right? Mm-hmm. But we did this so that we could actually see what happens when women build, when they lead, when they have to pivot, when they have to fail, really to begin again and choose themselves without an applause or the certainty that they're going to succeed. Right. So this book we pulled together so that women can really see that what they're thinking and what they're standing behind and what they're becoming is okay. The leaders that believe in struggle, that struggle disqualifies them, we want to nix that. We want to say, no, this is your source of wisdom. This is your opportunity to come together and believe that you can, because too many women are standing on the edge of their next thing. They're waiting for permission. And I am promising you, it does not come. It doesn't get permission. No golden tickets, right?
I see a lot of nodding heads here in this conversation. So, Molly, I know we talked about getting to your chapter at the end. We're going to let you kind of back clean up for this group. But before we do this, taking this on is no small undertaking. Taking, a book is no small undertaking. Multiple authors in a book is hard, right? It's like
Yeah.
you remember those class projects in high school where
Mhm.
like one or two people did all the work and everyone else took the credit for it, that kind of thing. With a book, it doesn't work that way, right? Every
No.
one of you authors took the time to write your chapters, review the chapters, go through this process, and here we are launching. This is a big deal. Actually, it just occurred to me, by a show of hands, how many of you, this is your first book? Fantastic. Well, then let me congratulate you on becoming published authors. Like, it's a huge deal. Such a huge, so many people dream of writing a book and dream of becoming published authors, never to see that realized. It's so you are now, as I like to say, you are now breathing rare air. You are among an elite group, and you should revel in that. This is a big day. So, all right. So let's do this. We're going to start. Paula. Paula's written a chapter called "The Power of Connection." So, Paula, why don't you come on? And I'm going to try to pin you for all of us.
Good afternoon. I am so grateful that Molly and I have met through the years through a variety of different connections and different groups of women and entrepreneurs, and become friends. And I respect her so much as a incredible entrepreneur and CEO of her company, and she is an amazing connection. So having this opportunity to be a part of other women that I've gotten to know better has just been amazing. And I am so grateful to be here today. Kathy and her coaching, it's just amazing. And again, as we're all connected and we're all just half a step away from each other, especially in Louisville, I just feel so blessed to be here. My chapter, it's a 56 years of people that I've had the pleasure of coming along in different ways, from the time of being a child riding horses to being a restaurant owner and a chef wife, and through real estate sales, learning many people's stories through the years and having the pleasure of getting to help them right size through, if that's going and buying a ranch, or if that's buying a tiny condo for your adult child that you want to get out of the house, whatever it is. I'm so grateful to be able to hopefully know people to help in many different respects, and the connections that we all have that sometimes people don't realize. They say, how do you start a business? I don't know anybody. How do you start a sales job? How do you ask for help? Or just how do you connect people? And I don't know anybody. I'm like, you all know people. You just have to look. So I think that is one of the best things that this book helped me in writing this chapter, was reminding myself of how all of our circles just keep going larger and larger and larger if you start just from your immediate circle and then just thinking beyond that. It's just been great. And I really hope that it helps other women and other people trying to get into whatever in their life. When they pick up our book, they're gonna feel so much wisdom that they maybe don't have to know that the stove's hot when somebody told them that they don't have to touch it themselves, that we can really help them with making those connections for the future and helping other people be a success.
Yeah, and in fact, in your chapter, one of the things that you really lean into is finding mentors. That's crucial. And can you share with us either either why you think that's of such great value, or ideas of how to find good mentors?
I think one of the best parts of having mentors is and being able to find the right person or people that can help you in whatever journey it is you're trying to learn about. Most successful people that I've had the pleasure of knowing want to share their wisdom. And I have been so blessed to find people who have been willing to share their wisdom ahead of time. And just asking, and again, of just asking, can I take you to have a cup of coffee, of people that you admire, or writing them a letter. And most people if you're willing to say, can I have 20 minutes of your time, will say yes if you are asked.
Yeah, I think, it's that whole thing, you have not because you ask not, right? So many people are timid about that, and yet you're right. People do wish to share. I mean, we're all flattered if someone asks us, and there's a lot of wisdom to be shared out there. So that is fantastic. Now, Paula, if someone wants to reach you, what would be the best way for them to get a hold of you?
The easiest way to find me is via my email, which is very easy, which is my name, paulabarmore@gmail.com.
All right.
Very
Excellent.
simple.
Excellent. All right, fantastic. So now let's do this here. Let me unpin that. So it can be confusing. We have two Amy's in this project. First, I'd like to go to Amy Rudy, who we've been having some great off-camera conversation about how she motivates people to help support her. I remember hearing threats or something, but
gentle nudges.
yeah, gentle nudges. Amy, why don't you tell us about you and about your chapter?
Thank you. So this has really been an incredible opportunity, and another thank you to Molly for putting this together and deciding that it matters. One of the really cool parts of this entire process for me personally is, save one woman in this group, I've been able to be part of their professional lives before this as a coach, as a business connection. It's really cool to watch the things you pour yourself into grow and to be considered part of their lives. It's awesome. The foreword of our book was written by a close friend, I think, of all of us, certainly most of us, right? A woman named Maggie Harlow, who's just an incredible businesswoman herself. But the cool thing is she totally sets the tone for this whole book. Like before you even get to the first chapter, it's like whammo, right? So that part has been fun and exciting. And how this book really isn't theory, it's truth. It's like lives lived. And it's really about ownership, like ownership of our decisions, ownerships of our mistakes and our growth, and sometimes the mess we create, right? It's just, I love that part of it. So where I got to get involved, I used a part of my life where she closed the gap between her ears, right? And so mindset gets in our way more often than any skill set that we can develop, or even cash flows in our business, right? And so the idea behind that is that many of us get into business because we're great at our deliverable, but then our head gets in the way and we may not know how to go out and get more business, or we may even worry about whether or not or how we're being perceived. There's a call out in the chapter I got to write, and it's failure isn't the enemy, fear is. Right. And sometimes it's the fear of being seen, or the fear of getting it wrong, or the fear of being judged for wanting to be out there so much. So I just love being part of this, and knowing that as women, we don't have to get permission to be successful or be ourselves. You don't have to become someone else to grow. You don't need to wait until fear disappears. And we sure as heck don't need permission to take up space. So I take a gentle approach to that thought.
So what would you say? You had another great quote. You stole the one I was going to give you. I was going to read. But you have another one. You say, people don't change because of their problem. They change because of the impact of their problem. Can you go into that a little bit?
Thank you for noticing that. So it's actually the name of my company, Impact Sales Systems. And so the entire part of whether you're selling or you're working to decide what to change, problems aren't what we decide to do something about. It's the impact of that problem. From a business perspective, our prospects don't change because they have this surface issue, they need better marketing. They would change because the impact of that problem is that they don't get enough new qualified leads, they're not growing their business. Me wanting to overcome or grow my business, the problem is I'm not growing fast enough. The impact of that is I'm not leading the authentic life that I wanted to. And so the impact of a problem, if we can seek that and find it, whether it's in an exchange with another person or within ourselves, that impact is the real compelling reason for us to do something different, find the resources to do something different, truly commit. And so it's a deeper look than what sometimes we give ourselves permission to go into or have the courage to, you know.
Okay, excellent. And if people would like to reach you, Amy, what's the best way for people to reach you?
So I would suggest they buy the book, because my contact information is right in the beginning of my chapter. Or you can look me up on LinkedIn from Impact Sales Systems, or it's amy.rudy, R-U-D-Y, at impactsalessystems.com.
Yeah, that is excellent.
Was that a
Yeah,
delicate push? Was that like a
I
little bit of a
love
plug
it.
there?
I absolutely love it. Let me reinforce that by putting up this beautiful graphic that Zelda prepared. That the book is available now on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. There's a special launch price today on the Kindle, and that is 99 cents. So definitely pick that up. And I'm sorry if you're watching this on a replay and it's no longer 99 cents, it'll be $9.99. Well worth it for sure. Also, let me reinforce that this is a great book as a gift. If you most certainly know other women business leaders and entrepreneurs and would-be business leaders in your network, and this would be a fantastic book to pick up for them as a gift. Again, paperback and Kindle on Amazon there, and soon to be on Barnes and Noble and Walmart.com and all the other platforms all over the place. So, all right, now we go to our next Amy, Amy Simpson. Amy wrote a chapter. Hey there, Amy. Amy's chapter is called Charting Your Career Flight Path, Navigating and Rising Beyond Blocks. So, Amy, why don't you first tell us a little bit about yourself, and then let's dive into your chapter.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to point out that we did this, Amy, in alphabetical order. R becomes before S. Like we totally planned this. I am the president and founder of SOAR Consulting. I'm an HR consultant that works with mostly small to mid-sized businesses and nonprofits. This chapter really set with me as I grew in my career. A lot of times when we're in our career, we have blocks that prevent us from moving forward. Similar to Amy in the sales piece, but this is how do we push ourselves in our career? And sometimes as women, we double guess, right? We question ourselves. We question who we are. Do we have the ability to do this? Do we have the time to do this? Do we have the energy to do this? Because most women work multiple jobs. They are moms and they are daughters and they have families and they have a whole different career once they drive into that driveway at the end of the day. And we just wonder about those. And so the 4 blocks that we normally hit, and this comes in anything that we do, and Kathy probably coaches this with every author that she encounters, is we have assumptions we make. We have limited beliefs that somehow fit into our head and we can't get rid of. We make interpretations, and most of all, we have an inner voice that sometimes tells us the wrong thing. And that is something that as women, we really need to encourage each other to not listen to. We don't have to make those assumptions. We don't have to have those limited beliefs. We don't have to have those interpretations. And we sure as hell don't have to listen to that inner voice, right? We need to say, stop. And so I share a lot of some of those times when I myself had some of the limited beliefs or the inner voice in my career, and it prevented me from moving forward. We're all going to do a shout out to Molly. So Molly did sit down with me when I decided to go out on my own about 2 years ago. And she gave me the good, the bad, and the ugly about being an entrepreneur and being a female entrepreneur and sometimes in a world that is not ready for what you have to say. And they're not ready for you to say it in a way that is as transparent and blunt as this group can and does have, right? And so we're breaking all of these blocks. This group of women are breaking the assumptions. We're breaking the limited beliefs. We are breaking the interpretations, and we are breaking that inner voice. And you can read that in every one of our chapters. You're on mute, Everett.
That was
Okay,
so
It was
good.
bound to happen once.
It's bound to happen. I see. What I'm saying is, you just nailed it all. That was, absolutely fantastic. So, Amy, what made you settle on this particular topic? I mean, you could have covered anything in this book, and you chose this. Was it because of a personal incident, or just a overall general need?
It was a little of both. In my HR career, I spent 15 years in corporate America, really working and partnering with a lot of leaders. And these 4 blocks, whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter who you are, at some point you have this fear that prevents you from moving forward. And I felt like this was something that I had this conversation over and over and over again with a lot of leaders that I work with and a lot of leaders that I coach. I did get my coaching certification a couple of years ago, and it reignited this need for us to address these, to put them out there in the atmosphere to say, hey, these are real, and there's a real way to move past them. And that was the one message that I felt like I wanted to get across with my chapter.
All right, excellent. And Amy, what's the best way for people to reach you?
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn, or you can email me at soar_consulting@outlook.com.
soar_consulting@outlook.com.
You got it,
All
Everett.
right. Thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate it. Okay, so now the next one's a little harder because we have 2 wonderful women who have shared a chapter. And Pamela and Lauren, I'm going to, which one of you wants to lead off here? I didn't give you any. Actually, I'm going to go Pamela, you are first. You get to lead us off. Tell us about your chapter, Making an Event Out of Life. And then we'll make sure to get Lauren in here too, because she's got stuff to say too. Oh, I think you're muted, by the way. There you go. Oh.
Thank you, Everett. And I too want to give a huge shout out to Molly for pulling this group together. We all pretty much have known each other in some capacity. It's been an amazing ride. One of the things that when Molly came to us and when we started talking about our particular chapter, we are an event management firm. This is our 16th year. And after 30 years in corporate America, I started when I was 6. I started my own. And with that came a lot of challenges, but it has been the most rewarding thing that we have ever done. And the title, Making an Event Out of Life, came from the fact that if you are in events, you have to love it because we don't work traditional hours. We don't have traditional clients. Every client is different. And so you have to meet them where they're at and help to move forward. And what we found is that as we go through, we have looked for the joy in this. Like I said, I was in corporate America for many years before I say God opened doors for me to do what I love. And you do have to love this. Sometimes you're looking at 12, 14-hour days. You're looking at travel. You're looking at, Lauren has a baby. You're looking at somebody, either you bring her along, and somebody else has to come pick her up or, so your whole life revolves around it. And we have found that events is truly our lives, but we absolutely love it. We love the entrepreneurship. We love the people that we've been able to meet. Amy was our business coach after 10 years or so in business. I had taken it as far as I could take it and needed that to get to that next level. So this is so exciting for us.
Wow. Okay, it's got to be a hoot being in business together with Lauren. Like, I think about if I had the opportunity to do something like that, just got to be wonderful. At the same time, I think you said you don't have traditional clients. Boy, you aren't kidding. I hear the Bridezilla stories out there, and but everyone's event is critical to them. You all have this great event tomorrow.
Yes.
Right? You have this great event tomorrow around the book. That is a special and unique event, and it'll happen that one time.
Yes.
And so how do you handle how do the
Yeah.
two actually, I'm going to go to Lauren with this one. Lauren, how do you handle clients when this is their one time? Like there's no do-overs on this, right? You can't just rewind the tape and do it a different day. How do you handle that?
Yeah. So for us, we treat every project and every event like it's our own. So it's very personal to us. We take
Breaking up.
it and tailor it to their needs. We meet them where they are.
You're breaking up,
Yeah,
Lauren.
I'll tell you what we'll do,
And
Lauren. Yeah,
that just and have these templates what you meet
that's okay. Your signal's breaking up, so I'm gonna
guys
have
where we just
Pamela take it on. If you don't mind, Lauren, your signal's breaking up there. So Pamela,
okay.
you guys take every project
No,
on
that's
as
fine.
your own?
Mhm.
Yes. And the first thing that we do when we get a new client is to sit down and see what their vision is, what their pain points are. What are those things that we can take off of their plate so that we have a lot of nonprofit clients. And so we always say that we allow the fundraisers to go raise funds. And so we're handling the event logistics. You're not worried about the run of show or if catering is doing what they're supposed to do, or if the guests are checked in, or all of the pieces that come with that. We allow our clients to be the host. And we started out very wedding heavy. We don't do those anymore. And we are really now just in that corporate conference, nonprofit world. And that has truly become our sweet spot. Working together as mother and daughter, you're right, has been probably the best thing I can say. Outside having my kids, but the best thing that I have done in my adult life, and mainly because I am a baby boomer. Lauren is a millennial. um, our thinking is different, but our thinking is alike, but it's very different. And so a lot of times the way that I approach things is not the way that she approaches things, but we have a mutual respect for each other and what we do. And so we talk about some of that in the book. Um, just how um, I think Maggie said it best. We've realized that we can have love and business in the same space.
Well, I think it's fantastic. It's great that the two of you are working together, and I totally understand the focus on the more corporate events and nonprofits and things. The fact that you let your clients actually go concentrate on the people at their event
Mhm.
rather than having to concentrate on the logistics of their event
Yes.
makes you invaluable. That,
Yes.
in fact, that probably doubles the value of that event for your client
Yes. It
because
has
they can
truly set us
actually go
apart.
do that
Yes.
instead of worrying about are the meals going to get on the table, did
Hmm.
people get checked in, et cetera. Hugely valuable. Um, what thinking about women in particular and women in business, what is a piece of wisdom that you would like to pass on to other women as they approach their businesses, whether it's business development or business management or something along those lines?
Lauren, you want to see if we can hear you again without you breaking up? You want to try again? Let me go ahead. Okay. So for us, we take our craft or our business very serious. So one of the things that we recommend, don't wait till you think you're ready, just do it. B, make sure that get your certifications, get your, we say we network and network some more, because that truly, Louisville is a very relationship town. But we found it's not just Louisville, it's Indianapolis, it's Columbus, it's St. Louis, it's all these other cities that we go into. And so relationships, relationships are so key. And that's part of, the reason that we're so excited about this anthology, because we see it taking all of us to another level.
Wonderful. Pamela and Lauren, thank you. And how can people get a hold of you or your business?
Okay. Our website, we've got www.splendidevents.llc.org. There's a contact us link on that site. That's probably the easiest. We have a Splendid Events LLC page on Facebook. LinkedIn, it's under my name and under Lauren's, and also a personal, our emails, Pam at splendidevents.llc.org and Lauren at splendidevents.llc.org.
It sounds like if someone puts Splendid Events LLC anywhere on any
They're going to
search,
get it. They're going to get it. Yes.
I love it. That's the way it's supposed to be. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right. So Jenna, you have been so patient. Jenna Ahern, who she and I were connected on social media. We've been connected for a couple years at least. I still don't remember exactly where and how that connection happened, but I think that's the best thing, one of the good things about social media. So your chapter is permission claimed, not granted. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, yes. So first, I know we all reverberated this, but thank you to Molly. I certainly wouldn't be sitting here without her generating a level of curiosity, as always, for this book. And I am the owner, founder and CEO of Guardian Owl Digital and Go AI. We've been in business now for almost 12 years, and permission claimed, not granted. Several of the authors touched on this. It certainly is a calling. I sense that for what I do in serving others and serving people in the way that we do it with Guardian Owl. But that comes with a lot. And Maggie had mentioned it in her foreword that I hope everyone can read if they buy the book, that we've only had 37 years of women being allowed to own businesses. And so I very much am 37 years old. 1988 was not that long ago. I have learned from all these women around me right here, as well as men that have had to reach back and show me or guide me, and even open doors that would not have been possible because women hadn't been in them before. And so I am very, very grateful and humbled to have a voice right now in this platform at 37 that my mom would have absolutely dreamed of and quite frankly might not have thought was possible for her. And so for me to have this opportunity, thanks to Molly and these women, I feel very grateful. So thanks.
Fantastic. Now, so tell us a little bit more about your chapter and your message there.
Yeah. So permission claim not granted, going back to women have only been in business 37 years. I didn't really think that was a pathway for me because I had never seen what it looked like. Even, I thought I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. Many of those humans that I saw didn't look necessarily like me. And so it's hard to have examples of what's possible and have that blueprint when you don't see it and it's not in your sphere and in your environment. And we know how much connections and being in the right rooms and being among the right people who are generous with their sphere of influence can be. And so my chapter is about, starting just as a young girl, lessons that I have learned that I have used as a blueprint to build a business because there was no curriculum really set for me. And my mom wasn't in business. I came from a family where I was one of the only graduates on my dad's side of college. So, I think that when you don't have, again, those guardrails and blueprints, you have to learn from others around you. And this chapter is really about those building blocks. And I call it, I got my MBA the hard knocks way. It was just very experimental and learned expensive and heartbreaking lessons. And I'm sure we all can relate to that. And this chapter, to Molly's earlier point, it's not pretty. It is about, things that pull at your heartstrings, that continue to call you forward and encourage you to stay in the game, because there's women like here on this call supporting you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Gianna. And I'm really glad you're part of this team and this anthology. What would be the best way for people to find you or your company?
If you go to the search engine Google and you search Guardian Owl Jenna, I'm hopeful I'll populate. If not, go to guardianowldigital.com, or you can search LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, my name, Jenna Ahern, Ahern.
Yeah, I don't know how many Jenna Aherns are out there, so I think that's there are a couple. All right, well,
I'm
but
very popular in Ireland.
love it. But knowing your social media footprint and stuff, I'm pretty sure you're the one they're going to find. So keep it up. Well, Molly, I think it's time for us to turn to the ringleader here. You've been lavished the accolades, and you have earned them. So, Molly, why don't we do this? Why don't you tell us a bit about your business, and then we'll dive into your chapter.
Great. Thanks, Everett. And I have to say that when this group of women, all I did was ask, hey, do you want to be a part of this book that I'm getting ready to do? They didn't even ask. They were like, yep, sure do. And then the questions came. So the anthology made sense because no single person owns the truth. When you pull together meaningful stories like this, something so powerful happens. And that's the change. That's the difference. When you're able to see the proof by multiple versions, and that's what this book does. You can see the proof in the action and the success and the failures and the success from the failures. It normalizes the middle, the messy, ugly, funky, smelly, nasty middle with shared lessons and not theory, which how many times can we go to that book? And it reminds women that that intuition that we have is intelligence. It's a gift, and offering courage to everyone through the connections, as just as we all are. It's not even comparable to the success that you can have. And she knows best. This book, this opportunity that we've created to come together to show others, it's about honoring that wisdom. And when I started Incipio Workforce Solutions almost just over 10 years ago, it was built out of frustration and concern for individuals and companies that were feeling like they had to be put in a box to do something a certain way. And you don't. There isn't a box. There isn't an off-the-shelf manual that works for everybody. Sometimes you are unique and you are special. And once you recognize that, the way that you can build your business through your workforce and collaborative efforts with the people that you network around, that's the game changer for your company. And being able to go and tell business owners and key decision makers that you can make a difference, even when it doesn't feel right. You know how when you put magnets together and they go right together, but then you flip one side and then it's like, can't even try. Sometimes that's what it feels like when you're presenting a brand new idea to business owners to think of things differently. They're just not, it's not flowing. But if you can do that one thing or make that one introduction through key folks just around the women that are around this table, it makes all the difference in the world.
Now, you called your chapter, I'm going to read it to you. No one's coming, so I did. Explain.
Yeah, so that kind of goes back to the other part that all of these other beautiful women have said, to say you don't need permission. You just got to go do it. And there comes a point in leadership and in life when experience outweighs permission. My chapter isn't about doing everything right. It's about what happens when you stop outsourcing your decisions and validations to everyone else. Because when you allow that judgment to make change in your life when it isn't warranted, when you don't respect the decision of that individual, but the moments that are lived through experience, just as those around this table in this book, sharing those moments to be able to have clarity over comfort. Sometimes it's not you don't feel good about it, but you see it, and being able to have comfort from the clarity is what comes. When you're in forward motion and you're not in the season of the kind of decisions that don't always look bold in the moment, you see that change gradually over time. And what used to be speed bumps, they're now flat on the road. So this chapter is more for the women who know that there's more in them, but they don't necessarily know how to pull forward to the next chapter. And learning that confidence in yourself is sometimes just enough when that bridge breaks, that you're just like, okay, I'm doing it. It's happening. Being able to have trust in your own instincts, to honor the experience that you've lived through, that you've worked through, just as Pamela said, with all of her years of corporate experience, the reputation, the camaraderie, the collaborative efforts with all of our networking, trusting and honoring that experience for yourself to be able to move forward without a consensus. You've already won.
Well, I tell you, this is fantastic, and it's just so grateful that you have brought this message. I remember when we were in the earliest stages of the book, it's like, okay, what is this? What is this really going to be about? What are the chapters that people are going to bring? And I remember you and Kathy having this conversation that really brought it home, that she knows best, business wisdom from extraordinary women, and here we have you all. I'm actually flattered that you trusted a guy to help publish the book.
Aren't
Like,
you lucky?
I am. I'm blessed. I'm not sure if that was some brief lack of judgment on your part, but just grateful for this.
I was going
Molly.
to say, Everett, you've done a tremendous job with a lot of very assertive women. So you've survived your journey with us.
You ladies have been a dream to work with. It really has been wonderful. Molly, I forgot to ask you, how do people reach you?
So like Amy, you buy the book and all of my information's there, or you can go to incipioworks.com and check us out, and all of our services there to help lift up organizations to better their workforce, or on all social channels, Molly Ricketts. And it's pretty much like Jenna. Molly with an EY is a bit different, and Ricketts with 2 T's. That's a game changer too. So you put those two together, there's only a few.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, thank you all. And Kathy, I want to go to any final words that you might have about the project or the book.
The only thing I would like to say is it's just been so much fun working with this group. And I can't wait to see the feedback that starts coming in. I think you're going to be so pleased with the comments from your readers. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, as a reminder for all, She Knows Best is for sale now on Amazon, where you can pick it up for 99 cents for a limited time, or the paperback is there as well. So get a copy for you, get a copy for others in your life that would benefit from this business wisdom. Thank you again for joining us on the livecast, and thank you, authors. Now I'm going to take us out, but please don't go anywhere so we can talk some more about how your launch is going today, because this is a big, exciting day. So stay put, but thank you all, and what a blast.